This week in action.
Hold on to your butts.
Could be something.
Talk to the developers.
Are you playing with my emotions?
Let's get sad and then get happy.
Too good to be true.
That's not what they did here. When's the money going?
What other horror stories can come with this?
We love Tencent.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Action Podcast 55. My name is Aaron, owner and operator of the YouTube channel Action RPG, and with me, as always, two of my friends, leaders, the gentlemen that truly run the channel, Daft and Guilty. Say hello, guys.
What is happening tonight, peoples?
Hey-yo!
And I forgot that I wanted to switch the places of Guilty and Daft because I don't like Guilty being so close to me. I don't know what it is. I feel like he's just, you know. I don't know if that makes sense. That probably doesn't make any sense. I don't know.
Because he's a hater of
I'm sure it's perfectly
That's
fine.
not what it is.
That's pretty much what it is.
I mean, I guess that could be what
You
it
took
is.
a poll. There was a poll taken, and everyone thinks you hate fine things.
Yeah, I like you got your, like, the Abe Lincoln cut today. I like that.
I have the
Yeah, you
Abe
got
Lincoln
the-
cut today.
I
There was
know
Yeah,
a
you did.
horrible,
I noticed that.
a horrible accident where I forgot to put the guard back on my trimmer.
No.
I was like, oh no! And I was like, let me even it out. And then I evened it out. I'm like, oh, that's never gonna work.
Yep.
So you just shaved
That
it.
looks like someone that may have been in control of something in the 1930s.
You should have just
No.
shaved it all off. You should have just went clean cut
gone
like Daftly, you
clean.
know?
Yeah, like I did the other week. It'll grow back
no.
for you in like what, a week?
Dude, my
Okay.
wife keeps telling me,
Something
like,
It goes
Aaron,
pretty quick.
Aaron, you need to get a facial. You know, you're not as young as you used to be. And I'm like, I don't
It doesn't
think
hurt.
so.
If you let her do it.
No, she wants to, like, take
Like-
me to some place.
Oh, have a place? Well, that's even better.
I kind of want to have one done.
Yeah, you see what you do, Aaron, is you do that and then you go to lunch. Because you're gonna be like feeling the vibe and you're
Yeah.
just be like all hungry. You go
That's
eat
where
some
they
lunch.
do the chemical peel, right? Or the pokey?
I don't know.
or
I think they,
roll
like, pop all your
slicer of your
pores
face?
and do stuff like that. I don't
No,
know.
they'll- I had it done when I worked at Top like a long time ago.
Wait,
You would
they scrape you with a stick? Is that what you're talking about?
She said
maybe.
they've got these, like, vacuum things and they, like,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
microderm. Microderm.
Yeah. They'll put like hot wraps on your like towels on your face, get you all loosened up, and then they'll like I haven't done that, but they'll
No,
maybe
we
suck
have a
your
microderm
pores.
machine.
and they'll pry at your face a little
face
bit.
vacuum. It's a face
Sounds fun.
vacuum with like a
Yeah.
sandpaper nozzle.
like the-
Anyways,
Like the Floby for the face.
we've got a
Yeah, yeah.
great show planned for you all today. March. Oh boy. Not
First
only is
already.
it the most amazing month because it is the month that I was born, but also ready for this?
That is true.
Last Epoch multiplayer March 9th. Torchlight Infinite Season 3 will be coming at the end of March or first week of April.
Right.
Okay.
Path of Exile's next large league will be coming first week of April. Diablo 4 play tests, 2 of them coming mid-March and end of March. And Wolcen Lords of Mayhem's, however many year they've been working on it, Chapter 4 update potentially coming in 2
Hey, man.
weeks.
If they can pull it together, good for them.
On top of that, we have Diablo 3 Season 28. Superfuse just actually dropped a large update today trying to fix some of its problems. It's just, there's so much.
So much.
I was literally telling Daft and Guilty earlier, I could probably make 3 videos a day right now as far as like
Right.
ARPG news coverage. Which
Okay.
actually I don't like it. I don't like it when it's all compacted because I never have enough time to like try everything. It's like better when it's all spread out. But what can you do? I also remember EHG when we did our interview with Steve, who's the marketing manager for 11th Hour Games last Epoch. And he said, for whatever reason in the business, you never drop anything in February. Like it's a bad month and it doesn't do well internationally. And
Sales statistics. That's what they're called.
Sales month.
yeah, you never do anything in February. So it kind of makes sense that like a lot of things happen in March, I guess. And March is spring break. So maybe more people, I don't know. Who knows?
Maybe.
Maybe not. Daft, what have you been playing this week?
This week, a little bit of Diablo 3.
Okay.
Just a little.
When you say a little bit, like level 10, like logged in?
My character is like level 30, 25, 30 in there somewhere.
If I remember correctly, you could power level in D3 in like a day if you have a group with you, right? Like,
yes,
right.
absolutely, yes.
I'm choosing not to because literally the last time I played was 2013, so it's been about 10 years. So I'm just kind of like playing the game as it's kind of vanilla, just kind of playing the game, and enjoying it enough. Made a necro, go figure.
Yep.
But it's been fun. There's some things I don't like the skill system, the way UI works and stuff like that. But overall, it's been a
the UI for the skills are
the skills are
they're
kind
showing
of
their age.
In chat, you can power level in 5 minutes. LOL. This season, you can get a character to level 60 in an hour or less.
Yeah,
that's pretty fast.
This season, this season they have the altar, and at the altar you can take the second node on your right. Starts here, and then the next one allows you to equip level 70 gear at any level.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds a little broken, but I guess that's the whole point. Is it's fun, right? You're just like a monster.
It's absolutely fun.
Well,
yeah.
I'm figuring I'm gonna only play this for about a week and a couple days because last Epoch's coming out. It's just kind of a filler. Surprisingly, I'm enjoying it. Not surprised, but it's kind of like going back to a vintage game that's been around forever, but I never actually played it because I just didn't. So semi nostalgia, but it's not nostalgia, if that makes sense. But yeah, mostly that. A little bit of Civ, some other games, but we've been doing a lot of stuff around the house with renovating and stuff, so it's been a little bit of that.
Right behind me on this shelf, that's my D3 Collector's Edition. And then right here is my StarCraft unopened Wings of Liberty StarCraft 2 Collector's Edition. The D3 one's opened. The StarCraft one is sealed. It's still got the plastic around it. In my head, I'm like, dude, I always talk about how big of a fan I was of StarCraft. I was like, StarCraft 2 Collector's Edition, I'm going to buy it. This is going to be worth money someday. It's probably worth less for all I know. Okay.
Right.
We're going to get to D3. We're going to get to D3. But of course, we need to talk about last Epoch. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, all those games and everything that we talked about, as of right now, this is center stage. And I know that a lot of people are playing D3 because there's really not that much to play. It's like, Torchlight's far into the season. PoE, we're waiting for the next season. Superfuse was a little bit of a bust. They're working through that. So then you kind of always like go back to your bag of tricks. Well, you got D3, you got D2R, you got Titan Quest, you got Grim Dawn. You look at Inquisitor. And I think that's why a lot of people that this D3 season 28 drop was like really good timing. And that being said, as we are building up to March 9th, this multiplayer update, I have been taking the time to get my YouTube channel ready. So I'm working on boot camp videos. I'm working on an influx of players that are going to have questions. I'm working on season starter build guides and things of that nature that's going to help grow the community, and support the game with hopefully, a lot of people that are going to try it out. So that's kind of what I've been doing. And today, I have to say, I made a little rhyme, that I was a little surprised because EHG is normally pretty good about, how do I put this? Maybe knocking on the door a little bit. Hey, Aaron, just so you know, for the next week, you might want to set aside a couple hours each day. And then I would say, well, what do you mean? And they would just say, for YouTube, you might want to set aside a couple hours each day. And then I would say, okay. This came out of nowhere. Literally, I had no idea. I was like, what the heck is this? I immediately started messaging everybody. Raven Crow, hello. Eway, I don't know if he's hi, or Bert. Hi. Rich, hi.
Yeah, hey,
hello.
Everybody.
Convergence. It is time for pre-patch hype week. Pre-patch hype week. And I'm like, hype week? And they've done this in the past.
We've been doing this for a month. But yeah,
like week plus, because there's a couple extra days in there.
I know, it's like I was thinking about that too, but this is the idea. Okay, this is pre-patch hype week where they are going to be dropping almost every single day. They don't want to say every day, but for the most part, they're going to be dropping communication every single day leading up to patch notes. So it'll probably be, one day up to 7 days, and then 2 days of patch notes. Or maybe 1 day of patch notes, and it's going to take us 2 days to read them. I have no idea.
right, could be.
I think it was Judd. It was either Judd or Mike. Somebody said that the patch notes, I think, are at 60 pages right now. 60
up,
pages. Mike,
60.
Not
Six
enough.
zero.
Not enough pages. They got those
Not
are rookie
1-6,
numbers.
but 6-0.
Now-
Good God.
do I have to read all those? Honestly.
No.
Maybe
no
not.
one needs to read all of those.
It's
I
there.
thought
Maybe
they're
if
gonna
you see
change.
something, you could look
It's-
it up.
So my thought is like, how can I not cover the patch notes? But then it's like, I probably have covered everything in the patch notes. It's just everything
Bert?
put together. I'm worn out.
I'm
from
worn
ha-
out. Too much of this hype.
Too much hype.
Yeah.
Now, I also was told that in hype week, we should learn new stuff. So anything that they've been holding back or
Right.
anything like that, like today's post, this is something that they haven't talked about at all. So what they
You don't
gave us.
care about your new logo.
Oh yeah.
You love the logo.
That would have been
It's
great. They
everywhere.
should have saved for hype. Yeah, they couldn't put the new logo in hype week because everyone would be like, come on.
Nah,
Come on.
That's not the game.
They could
Come
have
on.
waited
They got it
until
out there.
The game is released. To be honest, no one cares.
Now, I'm going to say, and this is me included, a lot of times
I know it's
overlook
Isaac.
we overlook sound and music. And I'm going to turn this over to Daft and Guilty for a minute because these are the big music guys. When I can't pronounce a word, they know how to say it, and they think I'm very uncultured, which is true. Okay.
True.
Daft,
That's
have you
an
listened to
accurate
this?
assessment.
Have you listened to these?
I listened to what you put in your videos. I haven't actually gone and listened to them
Yep.
on their own. Pretty cool. It's kind of filling the vibe in between, like,
Yeah.
they're trying to do what Grim Dawn did and Diablo did with the music, where it has like the acoustic guitar or synthesizer that's kind of doing
So,
this like
It's
pattern
an
over and
electric
over.
guitar on clean channel, but yes.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It's doing that same kind of thing that they did back in Diablo, where you get this long trailing things. I did like what I heard. I didn't hear a lot, but
So let's just
It's
start
cool.
for a second. I've got
So
this
far.
actually set
so
up
far.
where we can listen. And this was my favorite, actually. And I also said in my video that Judd is biased. And since his favorite
Meteor.
skill is Meteor, Meteor's going to continue to get updates, which is, I mean,
Right.
if it was my game, Necro would be broken and never.
When I was
So-
playing in CT, the Meteor sound was in, and it sounded pretty slick.
So
It was
Yeah, it's good sound.
impacting.
let's
yeah.
all listen for
Yeah.
just a second to old and new Meteor. This is old. New.
It's got
That's a
that,
big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably layers of sounds. They probably took the old one and put like a
Yeah,
thump
exactly.
sound in the center of it, or
I
something similar to that. It sounds the impact comes from the thud sound.
Yeah,
I can't explain it. It feels like you can almost like hear the meteor flying by you and then hitting the ground. Does that make sense? It's got like
yeah.
a swoosh,
Yeah,
like an air
so-
sound.
I can't say exactly what they're doing, but Unity has a spatial sound system, and you can actually, have stuff whiz around your head.
Yeah. It's cool because it does add to the game's depth. While you're playing, it just gives you more meat behind it. Some
Yeah.
people, though, I've seen play with sounds off. I don't.
Oh, I play with
I mean,
sounds off. Daft thinks
I
I'm a
can't-
monster.
I can't
play
do
with
that.
sounds off and music on.
I play with game music off, but then music on.
Yeah, he puts out other game music on from other
I
games.
put on all the stuff like from all the games and just kind of throw them in mishmash on Spotify and just kind of listen, like Morrowind's on, like all the things I've just liked.
Morrowind's got good music.
Yeah, and so there's like 1,200 songs of just nerdy kind of background sounds. And that works. So I'm hoping that 11th Hour Games releases their stuff. And I mean, you could buy it probably.
Yeah.
You could just
on
send them a
Steam.
message on Discord.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm willing to
most
bet.
games
Everybody
on
send them a
Steam
message on
have their
Discord, get us
soundtrack
the
for
sound.
sale, like an
They
extra
do.
$5 or something?
Yeah, in the last few years, you used to be able to just go into the sound or the files of the games and just download them on your
Yeah.
computer because they were just on there. More recently, though, in the last 5 or 6 years, you can buy them. They could put them, they hide them a little bit more, so you can't just access them. That's cool though.
Chalazad says, I don't like the current mage spell effects. He doesn't know the actual effect name. It's Ice Bolt or something, but the tail leaves behind is the tail it leaves behind is huge. The tail it leaves behind is probably the part. I think they're using a shuriken system still, and they just need to put the decay on the particles so they die sooner, so it doesn't leave that long of a trail. That's easy to fix. They take a fader or they just change the number.
And I think maybe they went a little, I mean, I don't know. You know, you look at games like Lost Ark, you look at games like PoE, you look at the success of Torchlight Infinite. They have these VFX that like they had to put in a limiter because it hurts your eyes. It's screen clearing. And I think they've taken a lot of heat that their game looks dated and it's not as flashy.
Right.
So I'm sure like some of that added flash or bigger effects is because, you know, of that feedback, trying to overcompensate a little bit.
I think though they have to though, because you want to polish the game, and as much as people are like, I do listen, it immediately when you first start playing a game, if you're a new player, you're gonna have all that stuff on till you tire of it, or you're just hardcore, you never listen to it. But it kind of adds to the game. And one thing Last Epoch's always needed is that ability to kind of like soak into the game, get that immersion, because it never had it.
It's always felt
you just
flat.
Played
it
the
felt
mechanics.
a little flat.
Yeah.
So now it's like, we're going to give you more frames. We're going to improve performance. We're going to give you combat feel. We're going to give you better shaders and lighting and sound and be able to play with friends, you know.
The as for the sound, I can't, like, I'm not on the team, I don't know, but there's a variety of ways for them to do that. And typically when you're putting something together before you polish it, each thing will have an audio source, and you adjust the sound from the audio source alone, and it comes off very flat. It isn't until you link that audio source to the built-in DAW in Unity that you can actually like duck sounds and do certain things that you wouldn't be able to do normally and dynamically. Like you can allow player to adjust volume for themselves. If you link, you can have them adjust the faders, manually themselves and have them link that way. However they're doing all of their sounds, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure some of their sounds were just, the audio source, and they hadn't linked it yet to the mixer. I'm thinking by the time we get .9, everything's going to be linked. The new shaders are definitely in there for what we've been playing. There's a big increase in that.
Huge.
And it comes down to not just the shaders, but the texture and some of the lighting. It's like we have dynamic lighting now, and they probably upgraded. I know we did, and it set us back a bit, which probably helped them too.
This next sound they put in specifically for me. They said, "No, I'm just kidding. That's not true. I just made that up."
Really?
With the Void Knight sound,
Bone Golem vocal. It just. I don't know why. It doesn't, because I went back and listened. I was like, in my head, I thought Predator. It just sounded like Predator for me at first. Listen.
It was,
It's like a growl.
Yeah.
Right there. Did you hear that?
Yeah, there.
I mean, yeah.
I noticed it when I was playing in there, the newer sounds. They had it in the CT, at least for the last patch or two. It did sound better. It did overall sound pretty cool.
Hey, Flenser.
Flenser.
I would like to know where they're sourcing some of these sounds from.
I remember D4 over a year ago, they did one of their quarterly updates on sound and how they were doing sounds, and they showed them like squishing melons and like out in the world doing like live, and showed how I was blown away by how they were capturing sound.
You remember Over the Hedge, the 3D animated movie from like a long time ago? That was mixed at my school, and they were literally breaking glass in sound booths, like shattering glass in sound booths.
Yeah.
It's really fun. It's a fun thing to do.
eBay says it sounds like a raptor roar. I could see raptor.
Right.
That's a good one.
I was thinking dinosaur too. Yeah. It doesn't surprise me though, because they've always been sound effects in weird ways. Like in the old cartoon days in like the 50s and 60s, they would just have an orchestra with wacky instruments and just kind of like playing things. So now there's just a lot more toys to play with and sounds.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, now that he said raptor, that's going to be in my head forever.
You got to get a raptor.
Sound like a raptor a little bit. Okay, we're skipping the Void Knights because the Void Knights was unimpressive to me. It just sounded like.
Well, I mean, it's as impressive as the rest of the Void Knights.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, all right, we'll play the Void. It's just the sound of the purple dude popping up.
It's the part I think I noticed is that part that's kind of like leading into the sound. I think that's the part they added. They added this kind of like texture that sounds like it's kind of got a wisp or something. It's a small thing, though. It's like not every single thing, though, guys, is going to be like super impactful. Okay, look at it this way: if everything was super impactful, it'd be too much for your ears.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the problem with raptor is that a raptor is in the game. So now, what does the raptor sound like in game if the golem sounds like the raptor? Does the raptor sound like the golem?
It sounds like Sandhill Crane.
Okay, this is the actual. I want to hear Guilty and Daft. I want your best guesses on instruments and what they are going for. We have 3. We're going to listen to 1 minute of each. 1 minute of each. Unless you need more time.
That was good coffee.
It's too late to drink coffee.
Oh, it's not like a coffee.
Oh, I gotcha.
It's a synthesizer, Aaron.
Not an instrument?
It's literally done what we call it cinematic. It's cinematic sounds.
Yeah.
In a later one, you could hear a guitar.
It might be an actual guitar, or it could be from a contact.
Yeah, it's just set. You're just changing keys and stuff.
All right, this is a minute fast one.
You remember the thing I made for you that was like 7.5 minutes long?
Yeah, I watched it.
It's the same instruments.
This is a little more like X-Files kind of vibe. It's kind of
good sound though.
It's a good rhythm, good cadence.
Okay. Next.
Yeah.
That's not a guitar?
Horror movie.
It was probably software instruments entirely.
Yeah.
This one's probably a guitar.
This is what I was talking about with the whole like old school Grim Dawn meets
Raven Crow
Diablo.
says the second song is D3 Main City. You cannot convince me otherwise. Oh, D2.
Or Grim Dawn, yeah.
You're thinking of the Tristram song.
Yeah, the Tristram song. Walking around in the prairie in Grim Dawn.
That's the song that's been my exit song for 3.5 years. I can see where you get it from.
So that is a clean channel guitar with a bit of chorus, probably a bit of vibrato on it.
Yeah. You could do that with a couple pedals or just
reverb and echo.
That part sounds very Ellie.
DAW. The thing with these games, with these soundtracks for like ARPGs, it's got to be something that stretches long enough and it's not super repetitive. And
that wah you're picking up is it's actually kind of like a neo-verb or a vibrato.
Yeah.
But what you're saying, Guilty, is all this stuff's all synthesized. Nothing's not. They're not recording.
This guitar part probably is actually recorded.
Yeah, they can record it and layer over it.
For instance, if I record a clean guitar, I can apply software plugins onto it, but I don't need to because I have hardware that I can use. I have pedals and rack equipment.
Oh, here it is right here. The familiar Last Epoch theme comes back, but it's played by guitars and is in a different rhythmic setting from the other times that you heard it. Okay, last one. Empty Trophy, first time chatter. Hello, welcome. Remembering Grim Dawn style.
Yeah, Grim Dawn's great soundtrack.
That actually reminds me of music from the Shadow. What is it? Shadowrun series. The
Shadowrun. It just gives me like horror film vibes a little bit.
What's an Ebo?
An Ebo is a guitar. It's actually an electromagnetic that you hold. It's about 100 bucks.
This says that this one was created on an Ebo on a distorted electric guitar.
Yeah, so what it does is as soon as you touch the strings or hover it over the string, it vibrates the string. There's two settings on most Ebos. One of them gives you a harmonic and one of them gives you just the regular note. This one seems to be the regular note because I don't hear the harmonic on it. But with the distortion, it actually makes it so that it has its own natural distorted harmonics. It's a pretty cool toy.
A cello-like sound.
Now I feel like EpiPen was used on Tool. Everyone thought that was an Ebo. That's an EpiPen.
Now I feel like I gotta read the top one to see if it says what it was
famously used an Ebo. That would be in the 70s.
No, the first one doesn't say anything about instruments. The other two do. Cool. So overall, are we happy with the sounds?
Yeah, there's the Ebo. See, I actually have those. You go down to the he's playing that on a Les Paul.
Yeah. So it's a little blue light, and you see it.
The light just tells you what string you're on. It's actually it's an electromagnet. It's powered by a 9-volt battery. On the back end of that, there's a little toggle switch for off, and then one direction has a harmonic, and the other is just like regular setting.
Almost think of the sound like a violin.
It's called Ebo.
Yeah.
So if I had that little thing, I could play guitar good, Guilty? What do you think?
No. But you can do really interesting things with it. You could do volume swells with the knobs or with a volume pedal. I actually prefer it on clean without the distortion because the closer you get it to the pickup. So if you, for instance, he's playing it what it looks like in the neck position from that picture. So if you back the Ebo away from that, it'll be a lesser tone. The closer you get it to the pickup, the more distorted the sound gets on a clean. So why they're playing it on a distorted amp, I don't know.
Or anybody here, the pickups are the white and black things.
You think I don't know that? I've played guitar my whole life.
Oh, okay. My bad.
I had no idea. I couldn't name a singular thing.
4 pickups.
I know the difference between electric and acoustic. Does that count?
So it's the distraction. You know the knobs and things they'll do on the bottom. You'll be able to pick the front one, 2 of them, 3 of them, so that the guitar picks up more sound in different spots of the cordage. That's our music.
Yeah, those are really cool toys, though. I've had one of those since I was like probably 16 or 17. I've had the same one since I was 16.
Really? I never used one of those. No.
Well, last thing in here is it does say up here that there are other sounds coming in, but they're going to save that for another post. So it's not even, this is just like what they were allowed to select. They each let them pick 3 things that they could showcase.
It's so like you, Aaron, with too much to put out there.
Exactly. So I don't know if every single skill or all the different animations have gone through different sound upgrades or not, but they just said as of right now, this is just some stuff we wanted to showcase. So I thought that was really cool.
Kind of cool. That's neat.
It's probably like what Guilty's saying. They probably attached a lot of this to the actual, game now, and they're being able to sound it out and add in new and make it deeper sounding.
But it is cool to be able to say that the lighting, the shaders, the performance, the combat feel, and the sound has all been improved.
Solo Cup. a lot of these are already in what we have in CT, which is essentially .9.
Right. We've been playing it for several months, and they've been adding all these things in. So you have like the base game that you have access to at any time, and then the CT, which was kind of like the patch that was getting up to .9. A lot of this is stuff in there, but they are adding some more, and it's cool for us who've seen a lot of this stuff or kind of heard it, whatever, for the last month or so.
But
now they're adding a ton more.
Event 1 and Event 2 was 0814, whatever they just like, I don't know what, 0814. And the last event, the third event, where you can only play up to Chapter 4 and beat Hearten, that was actually 0.90. So that was the pre-patch 409. So
yeah, Solo Cup. Yes, it is. .9 is the MP patch coming on March 9th.
March 9th.
8 days. But Aaron, so quick note on.
Yeah.
I know you didn't play on this short. I guess what I played over this little weekend thing.
What?
Well, I made an acolyte.
Smart.
And I strictly went thinking, okay, I'm just gonna have such a short game, so I kind of like pushed the whole acolyte build like as far as you could with the poison kind of thing. Ended up using the trying to use the swirly ghosty guys. Ended up being okay. That actually worked out. They changed it so you can make it pretty powerful.
Yeah.
But I had a hard time finding a single target that worked. I was using the exploding zombies and using the poison version of them.
Mm-hmm.
That worked pretty well. I also tried the the souls with the skulls. I forget that one's called, but you get the skulls and they shoot out like 4 or 5 of them. That one was okay, but a little kind of, it wasn't as fluid feeling. It didn't synchronize with the rest of the class, but it might become my starter. I might do this one for the league. I just might play this.
That's fine. You can do that because it's not. But you're gonna go Lich, right?
Yeah, I did do Lich.
Yeah, you're gonna go Lich.
I
Lich is better than Necro. So
Wandering Souls and Hungering Souls.
Yeah, that's it. Hungering Souls. Wandering Souls worked out pretty well. You get it super early.
Oh, Wandering Spirits. Ravencross.
Yeah,
Spirits.
Right.
Good call, you get that super early.
You can make your spirits big now too.
You can make them bigger.
There's a couple uniques now around Wandering Spirits.
Not cast speed, but yeah, I tried it. The little furry looking thing.
Yep.
That it was okay.
The furry was okay.
Oh,
it was okay. I didn't like it too much though. I liked having the zombies better, the exploding zombies. That felt a little better. But you know, it was kind of one of those builds. It felt like a good opening build because there's no real need for gear in this. You're just kind of dipping into poison. And I put some points into Lich, but for the intelligence and stuff like that, just kind of trying to buff up that. No, it was fun. It was kind of a fast-paced, didn't care what kind of gear I had kind of build. So we'll see.
Zombies.
I think that's
zombies are monsters. It's hard to not put zombies in a lot of
I
builds.
love
They're
the zombies.
So good. And again, it's a newer skill. It has so much. You could do anything with it. It's normally how it is. Okay.
Two more things. The zombie still deals way more DPS.
I know. 2 more things in LE, and then we're going to switch gears. Okay. This is only 60 seconds, but I just want to ensure everybody has seen this. This was my last Epoch hype video. I'm actually not playing the video. I'm just playing the trailer for Convergence.
So you've seen it.
How is that? I'll answer your question.
The end of time. Faced its ruin. Stared into the void. Time sent you on this journey alone. But no longer. Convergence is upon us. And our destiny is bound together.
They roll at you.
Awesome.
Primalist needs to be in the center.
Zombies.
I'll forgive them for this.
Hey, they put Werebear in it.
Yeah. Werebear should be in the center. Primalist is always the center. They're playing with my emotions.
I thought they did pretty good on this little hype video. Daphne, what do you think?
I enjoyed it. They haven't ever been like this type of like I never went to 11th Hour Games for this. They they had some hand drawn looking things that were pretty, well, not hand drawn but painted looking things that were pretty cool. This one was nice. It had the slow motion thing. It had a lot of cool visuals of all the new gear, and the 2D 3D art kind of looked cool. So I enjoyed it.
Button Smash University. The game will be online for multiplayer March 9th.
So Cal's real quick he asked a question about the teleport when you're dying or anything with your minions. They don't do that anymore. They don't. That's fixed. So your minions don't come running to you when you port.
This trailer is on the official YouTube channel, or you can go to Action RPG's YouTube channel. I made a little video too. Not gonna lie, but this dude looks very familiar to PoE's new League trailer.
Wouldn't it be great if they hired the same animation team?
That'd be awesome. That'd probably be smart if they could afford it.
I mean, they can afford it.
By the way, somebody earlier talked about
500,000 units. They can afford it.
Someone earlier talked about the ice trail. I swear it was in this video.
They were talking about the trail being too long.
Yeah,
right there.
That's partially particle effects and partially an actual static image. That's kind of They do it to cheat so that you're not throwing a freaking 5,000 particles on the screen at once.
Cal said, I didn't notice it when I was playing.
Okay, let me look. Would any of you know what is going on with minions and why when teleporting to the same area / dying, your minions run to you instead of getting moved to your location? It's got to be one of the most hated features of the game.
And I said, yes, it's fixed. But then later he said he noticed it in the multiplayer weekend. I didn't, but maybe multiplayer.
Well, it depends. It depends because we had it in CT, and that's, I think, a different build than what was given for the week.
Right. Because it got fixed, and I hadn't noticed it for a while, for at least half a month, so a couple of weeks. But I don't know. Maybe during the multiplayer it wasn't fixed, like the weekend thing. But
Prehensile Wang,
multiplayer.
A dev team has a strong vision and their design pillars seated when they poll their user base on how to fix trade. I don't know if it was to fix it. It was whether or not to include it.
Well,
it's been a controversial
I feel
thing.
like they knew. No, I think it's both. I think they knew they had to fix it based upon the outrage and
of them saying it wasn't coming.
And then how to fix it was they used the data from the survey.
The survey, which came weeks
at least
after.
to lead them in the directions they wanted to do. Yeah.
Right. So
they paid attention though. I made a video about what they did. I mean, you did too. A few other people did.
Yep.
But I will say that it hits, the bigger content creators, the people that don't play the game every day. Just for example, like the Rikers of the world. Like these people noticed what they did. And again, just for example, Riker was like, this might be the best trade system I've seen in an ARPG. And whether you like Riker or don't like Riker, a lot of creators made that style of video, and that is great publicity,
So it could be. I'm not going to say, because right now they're looking at it, and I don't think they're investing thought beyond what they've read.
But they're looking at what they're used to and seeing an innovation on a old system.
There is an innovation that is still being developed, and there are some things that can be tweaked to make it better. To make it better for people's enjoyment and to make it better for combating
both sides of that.
It was actually designed to do.
Both sides of the argument too. No, it's a great step. It was from a couple months ago where everybody's worried about gifting and that being the only thing to where we are now. It's like night and day. So it was a good move.
Yeah.
Overall.
So D4 from the poll, we knew the trade was in. Yeah. As soon as I saw them put a poll up, I'm like, we're getting trade.
Oh, for sure.
A version of it. Yeah.
For sure.
Hands down. Yeah.
And Mike took, without exaggeration, probably 100 questions after that initial post on his Friday streams. And it was just like, why no trade? What's happening with trade? And he's like, the books aren't shut. We're not done. Like, it's not closed. We're still discussing,
I'm sorry, we opened our mouths.
I even think at one point he had like at the top of the screen, like it was written out, trade is not finalized or something. And like someone would ask and he'd like point upwards or something. Anyways.
Right.
He's like, look up where the book isn't closed. Okay. Last thing on Last Epoch. We've checked out sound. We've watched the trailer. This was posted on their Discord and on their social media. Current
That's a sexy number right there.
Steam playtest status. Current player population for the playtest, they got 36,561 to play.
I was way off with my preliminary.
And this is what happens, right? People,
I was thinking 10.
Well, people look at concurrent players and it's like, oh, the game can't have more than 1,000 players. That means there's only 1,000 players. No, that's 1,000 players at a time.
Right.
So no, 36,561 did not log in all at the same time.
No,
but over the 3-day play test, 36,561 downloaded the game, logged in, and played. That's pretty healthy.
That ain't bad.
That ain't surprised me when they posted that. So
now, is that all? That's all from Steam. That doesn't. Like they're not really doing all of this on their native client, right? This is everything.
I would guess that at this point, 5% is still on their native client.
Yeah, but is the native client getting the new updates?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. I had the native client.
I think everything is through Steam.
Yeah, my native, when I joined the Kickstarter and did all that account, I ended up adding to my Steam account, and that's where that sits. So.
I love this. Goat is ahead of me. I was going to ask the question.
Yep.
Now that we know all 3 events are over, we know the good publicity from Trade. We know that they've got a bunch of large streamers lined up for March 9th. What will be the highest concurrent player count on Steam charts for Last Epoch on the first weekend? No, let's just say the first 4 days. Yeah. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, at any point of those 4 days, what is going to be the peak concurrent players? Daft, you got to go for. You're at the top. You get to go first.
I'll go. I'll say 16.
16,000.
I'll say 10. 10 at one time, right? Not all together. 10 at one time.
Oh, you're talking one time? I'll say one time. Not maybe 11. I'll say 11.5.
We've got a 6K, we've got a 6,500, and we've got a 1340 or 13,400. I think we're all around the same, like, okay,
ballpark.
Yeah,
half of what it was for the weekend. Basically.
On screen right now is the current. So here, all-time peak is 72. 24 hours, 1,100. It's actually gone up.
I mean, that's weird. Based off of the stock release right now too, because the CT's closed and
there's no events going and there's no CT. Man.
Remember when Asmongold made the video and said at the end he heard good things?
Yeah,
there was the Asmongold bump, and then Riker made the thing. Riker keeps on making videos. Ziz hops on and starts streaming it. You're going to see a bump there too.
You will see a bump, yeah. But if you look at the line, the up and down, it's pretty even across.
Ravenprow's right. Ziz has power.
He comes in and plays it, and then people get hyped on it or have it in their Steam account and they haven't opened it forever.
Ziz's squirrels have big fuzzy nuts. They can make this happen.
Man,
Nothing
if
is
it can't
happening
break,
that week.
Okay, listen. If it can't break 10K, we're in trouble. That's my honest opinion.
I don't know. I think they're going to be a slow burner game.
I don't know.
I think it will. Slow burn. If it is a slow burner game, still good. If they hit 10K off the bat, it has to work.
Yeah, it's a weird pressure. You could have that whole Wolcen thing where you go blow up, and then there's so much blow up that absolutely everybody sees the fatalities in the game, and then that dies down. So I think Last Epoch's kind of that weird place where they're kind of in the grim dawn, where they're good game, it's solid, it's got good mechanics, it's got good overall theme and like sound, art, and all that stuff. So but it's not a high-paced game like Torchlight or Path of Exile. It's
And-
not. Is a
And
Diablo.
remember, we're talking about the first 4 days. Okay, March 9th.
Yeah.
It will be competing against a PoE league that's at the end. So
At the end of the PoE league.
An end of a PoE league.
The center of a D3 league.
Yeah, a month, you know what? 3 weeks.
Season.
3 weeks into a D3 league.
Yeah.
Superfuse that was a little bit of a bust. Torchlight that it's done with its league. No one's playing on December. We're already halfway through Inquisitor's League. I mean, does it actually have current competition in the ARPG genre?
I mean, it's hard to say.
No,
It's the competition.
Yes. Diehards won't leave their game.
Diehards are going to stay where they are. You know, there's players like me who float between the games depending on how I feel or, you know, whatever. Like
there's a PoE event
3,
starting on the 8th.
That's fine. I would, you know, people start it and then play
again,
it for a while.
diehards will not leave their game. When D4 comes out, every game
will suffer.
Will notice a dip.
Yeah. That's just the nature of the beast. It's expected. If it doesn't, I would be absolutely surprised, personally. Because
I'm saying 20,000.
Oh,
yeah, I made fun of that name, Kalazad. I made fun of on December. I said, "Oh, you mean every other month, but December, the other 11 months."
I am upping it. I'm gonna say 22,000 concurrent players.
Yeah, Aaron, you're just gonna make yourself cry because that's not gonna happen.
Because
you say 13,000.
I said 22,000.
22.
22.
He found something in Idaho. He started smoking.
You smoking stuff. You hollowed out a potato and used that as a pipe, didn't you?
Yeah.
I didn't even need to add anything to it. I just smoked the potato until it was just skin.
Oh, they got good potatoes over there, huh?
Excellent.
He smoked it down to the skin.
That's right.
You let them rot a little bit, and then you smoke that.
Okay. Now again, I'm just basing my 22,000, and I know they break the servers. They can only get $2,000.
A little bit more. Don't just say it was only 2,000.
Okay, they got 2,200.
I thought it was 23.
No, it was actually 21,98 or something.
We're gonna call that 22.
Either way. This game has sold. They have sold 500,000 copies. Okay,
a lot of copies.
Just what, last week, right?
So they just announced they just passed 500,000 units sold. How many of those people? I mean, sure, yeah, a lot of those people like, the game. How many often do you buy a game and like, screw it, like it sucks, it's not good.
Right.
I've played it to death, I've shelved it. I can't tell you every day because I've been answering. I've been back to answering as many YouTube comments as I can. Every day, 10 to 20 a day. I'm getting. Dude, I haven't played this game for a year. I'm excited for March 9th. I haven't played this game for 12, over and over again. I haven't played for a while. Should I start playing now? Should I try and get the hang of it? So excited for March 9th.
I have people in Discord asking me, hey, are any of the Aaron's builds from 8.4 viable? I'm like, a little bit. You could start off with them, but a lot of, this, that, and the other change. So people are getting, stoked. The videos you made about all the,
and they're all doing well
and stuff. They're doing well. So people are kind of like jumping on the hype a bit. They're getting all excited and trying to learn, the strats and stuff. So
now what will suck is if somehow they get that 22,000 and then the servers light on fire. That would suck.
Yeah. It's like, we couldn't. Yeah.
That would
I'm
suck.
afraid of that. But that's also, it's kind of like a badge of honor now.
Growing pains.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, look at the last comment, and welcome, by the way. Thanks for coming and checking out the stream.
So
I haven't played in a year either because it's been so long between updates. Hype for .9 though.
See?
Well, major updates, but they've been doing stuff behind the scenes.
Fleshy BB, was the Werebear update your favorite?
Probably didn't play it.
Yeah, that was the last one he played. I'm
Void said the last time I played last Epoch, I couldn't even tell if there was 20,000 people playing or 1K waiting for multiplayer. Just took so long. It really did.
Dogs.
I got to think that their servers can handle 20,000, right? I mean, come on. They've been working on them for 2 years.
Well, we did. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. They had a lot of testing that we did over the last.
I guess we got to get to 20,000 though, right?
Right. We got to cross that bridge.
I'm going to guess they rented server space like Wolcen did. Wolcen just recently moved their game onto their own private servers.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that EHG has rented server space, but they might have gone private from the get-go. Who knows?
Well, they got that 10-cent money. You don't know which way they went.
Flashy knows what's going on.
Grim
Flashy
Dawn
usually plays Grim Dawn. Look at that.
Flashy, not Flash.
He knows Wrecked by Protoss.
Probably. He's like forever.
Okay.
Grim Dawn guy,
I'm sorry. One more time. I said 22,000. What did you say, Daphne?
I for all at once, I think I said 6,800.
Okay, 6,800. No. Guilty says 10.
I did. Yeah, I said 11.5. My bad.
11.5. 11. Yeah. So 10, 11.5, and 22. Somebody should say $1. You know, like Price is Right.
Yeah,
it's probably. Right.
100 people.
65 cents.
I know.
Okay, we got Voidless. The last time I played last Epoch, I couldn't even tell if there was 20,000 people or 1,000 waiting. Now, have there ever been? It's like the one. How many people back then were only in it to play multiplayer? Because a lot of people said they weren't going to play until multiplayer came out.
Ooh,
there's
the
been
number
a gang.
of owners of that own Last Epoch currently. Like Sam owns it and has never played it because it did not have multiplayer.
Right.
It's sitting in his stash right now, waiting to be played. But that's a number. There's probably a lot of people.
That's all I've heard for the last year.
Crawl out of the woodwork.
A lot of people are going to try it.
You know, like I am not playing it because I don't.
I cannot tell you. Who is that? What is that? Whoever that. Do we know what time on March 9th it's coming? I cannot tell you, but I could tell you. I mean, I do know what time, but it's on its more normal cadence. So you could
probably just go with Dax.
You could just look at maybe the comment under your post. Might help.
Yeah, but 11 a.m. what time? The Lord's time or Filthy Heathen time?
What about Mountain time?
Filthy
Where does that fall?
Time.
That's just Heathen time. That's not Filthy
Heathen time.
So.
Thank you. I like having the filthy.
Oh, the Lord's time. Thank you, Evenbert.
Walker said, wasn't the point of the stress test the servers? So it was, but they only got 2,200 people on, not 22,000. So they were going to test out 10,000 players, and they only got 2,200 on at a time. That doesn't mean they only got 2,200 players, which is evident from this right here.
Same here.
Was that before the trade update?
Yes.
It was the week before, right?
Yeah,
so that makes sense.
Yeah. Fleshy BB, he bought two copies for his friends, and each of them are waiting for multiplayer. That's 3 altogether right now, just in friends of us.
Yes. 22,000.
I bet there's going to be an avalanche of players come from multiplayer.
And I can tell you that I know many large ARPG streamers that are signed on and will be playing this game over the weekend. Right. I don't know if they were paid to. I have no idea, but I could tell you it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't
matter.
They will be playing it.
They bring eyes.
All the Diablo and PoE big dogs will be on Last Epoch come March 9th.
Every one of them. I know of a handful, if not more than a handful, but every one of them.
I don't know about Quinn. I hope Quinn plays. If they can get Quinn to play. Well, I don't know. If they can get Quinn to play, it might be bad. No, I don't know. You know, there's no bad publicity. He might just be like, this is the worst effing game I've ever played in my life. Don't play it. Quinn is a freaking trip, man. See, Solo Cup gets it. Quinn said he was sponsored for it on one of his streams. Wait, so you're saying Quinn is playing it March 9th?
A lot of these guys did take some form of a sponsorship.
Right.
Like, obviously. Whether or not he'll be playing on the 9th, we don't know. Also, my favorite thing about Riker is his TLI comments during that podcast.
We're not talking about Riker.
Just throwing that out there.
Throwing it out there.
Master Sword says 50K easy. Ooh, I like Master Sword. 50K.
50K.
50K would be. But again, 500,000 copies sold. Okay. It's not impossible.
It isn't.
No.
No, it's, they all gather on the weekend, and if they are paying attention to their Steam or whatever updates, they'll know
it may be impossible if they didn't get big enough server space.
What's happening, Lady Medusa?
I would think, I don't know. I mean, you got to shoot for the fences. It's crazy. Like if somehow they got 100,000 players, but their server space is 20,000, there's no way. That's not possible.
They should plan for Wrigley Field and the slam for the back wall. You got to hit the back wall, everybody.
Did you guys see the numbers on V Rising?
No, I haven't played V Rising in feels like 10 years.
I could spell. Oh, I didn't put in the V. There it is.
Well, she all launches
150,000. It's 150,000.
All-time peak.
Man,
you know what though?
Wow.
1,800 playing 10 minutes.
It's a fun game, man. It's a fun game. You just have to dedicate. You have to get a tight group of people that have like a week vacation together, and then I bet you would have one hell of a V Rising game.
Okay, but there is something to be said that V Rising, it wasn't like I've played it for 3 years and now I get to play it and now it hits 150,000. That was like it dropped and it was the first time everybody can play it. And V Rising, V Rising actually was really good for
Tribes of Midgard, then V Rising.
V Rising was really good for my YouTube channel. Because I was covering V Rising before nobody else was. That was a good one.
It came out of nowhere. He's like, I like vampires.
I was like, Vampire Survivors. What about V Rising? I was covering all the vampire games. We had a server. We were playing. V Rising was good. It just kind of gets boring.
Yes.
Man, V Rising did 150.
Yeah, if they sped up some of the mechanics, and we had a group, like I said, that was able to just down a couple energy drinks and spend a week straight on it, it would be nuts.
And I have to pull it up because, again, I mean, anything is possible when you see this number. Wolcen did 127. Daft says they're going to do 11.5. Wolcen did 127.
Yeah, but Wolcen picked up like some type of George Soros money packing it up. They were like, it came out of nowhere, and everyone was just like, it was thrown in everyone's face. And for some reason, the way it was thrown in their face, they wanted to play it.
Yeah,
who said that Quinn is sponsored or heard that he was sponsored? Who said that?
I would imagine they went and grabbed everyone that's playing the game.
Meanie Machini.
Man, they got Quinn and they got the other top 4 PoE. I think they got more than 4 people from PoE.
It was early access for a while, Merkaba, but on its release, that's when it hit that peak. And out of nowhere, boom.
Yeah, I played that. I joined actually Wolcen's Kickstarter, and then the next month, last Epoch's Kickstarter. Yeah, where Wolcen came from, it was like that weird world, and it just you went through it, and then they revamped it. Ubuntu? Umbra. So yeah, but the way it swelled on release was insane. Like, what?
I mean, when you talk about a fall from grace, you think Wolcen's been out over 3 years, it didn't have staying power. It didn't have leagues or seasons. People got bored. It went from 127,000 to single digits, like, you know, 6,000 in 2 months.
So it's true, Eway, that he is playing RuneScape, but he also, you know, he can play whatever game he wants.
Yep.
And he actually has an item in LE, so
does.
It says January, but this really launched like right at the end of January. So end of January 127, beginning of March 5,600.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is there are fuzzy nuts in the game because of Ziz. Fuzzy nuts all over the game because of Ziz. You blame him.
I know. And this chart for Wolcen is its all time. It's launch, nothing. It's like nothing. Man. Guys, hear me out. All we need to do is keep asking Asmongold twice a day to cover LE. That's it.
He would, you know, that's the wrong way. He won't do it. You can't tell him to do anything. You got to make him think he doesn't want to do it.
If Asmongold's like, hey, I keep hearing about this game, I don't know if it's good or bad, I'm gonna play it, and he likes it, that's it. That's all you need. You could actually have all the other, you could have everyone else sit out. That's all you need.
Even if he thinks it's bad, that's all you need.
Because he's playing it?
Yeah. Like, did you notice the bump when he reviewed your video?
Dude, he played Dark and Darker. That blew up that game. All these games. Yeah. Like, you know. Yeah, if you got Asmon to play it, that would be...
He was playing that, there's a survival game out recently, something about in the forest. What's it the hell's that game called?
In the Forest or something?
In the Forest or something like that. It looked interesting. And the day-night cycle is like, you know, dynamic, and they're trying to
Sons of the Forest.
Sons of the Forest, yeah. They were trying to him and his buddies were playing. They're trying to get the stuff built before the sun went down. And Asmon's the builder. I'm like, this ain't gonna work out well for you.
Be a great video, but it's not gonna work out.
Walker's scratching me up. Asmon will cover a video trashing LE's terrible 0.9 launch. He's right. Someone will make a video like this game sucks, and then he'll watch that, and then it'll just further kill the game. That's actually, I guess that is possible. Now, we're going to transition for a second, but kind of still on the same topic, okay? Because this does make March even more interesting, okay? February 28th, yesterday, Wolcen Lords of Mayhem in true Wolcen Studios form on the last day of the month. So the joke is that Wolcen last year made a commitment. Wolcen Studios made a commitment to give us monthly communication. Yes. And it's always on the last day of the month. Yeah. So like February. If they wouldn't have got this out yesterday, it would have been
like 11:59.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Did you trade it yet? No.
This is the big news. Happy to finally say that we hope to release Wolcen Lords of Mayhem's 4th and final chapter in a matter of weeks.
A matter of weeks.
That could be 2 weeks.
That could be 2 weeks or like 8.
Or 52 weeks.
Or you just don't say months.
Honestly, in true Wolcen style, this could be tomorrow. They could be like, oh, it's ready. And it's just out. Like, that's how they always do it. That's like, there's never any like 7-day hype, or we're going to talk to this person to promote it. It's always just dropped.
Lady.
Yeah, you know, 48 weeks, whatever, 52.
Yes. And in the full spirit of disclosure, we are in our final internal testing phase and tinkering with the last few nuts and bolts. There is, of course, always the possibility we may have to invest more time. They shouldn't have put that line in there, because everyone's going to be like, oh, Wolcen's being Wolcen. But we aim to have the patch in your hands soon.
Ebbenbert says he's bored till March 9th, but not Wolcen bored.
I'm telling you right now, Bert, if this dropped, he would play it.
It'd be great.
I don't care what he says. He would play it.
Chapter 4. Hey guys, anybody want to power level me?
We're all going to be level 40.
15 minutes. Yeah.
So again, everybody, well, as long as you have a leveled character, everyone reverts back to level 40. for this update.
Oh.
Yeah,
like what they did with WoW. They made all the high level characters. They went down.
Now listen, and again, I'm gonna ask some questions to the gentleman above me. Okay, so let me get through this. Engage in the new end game loop. Discover new and exciting unique items, item types, affixes, 2 new skills, which we didn't know that we were getting new skills, and a multitude of exciting build possibilities. Alongside this chapter will bring a massive balance to the game, touching on almost all skills, active skill modifiers, nodes in the Gates of Fate, XP requirements, city building cost, and unique items. So, 1, every character you've ever made, whether it was a day 1, whether it was a blood trail, whether it was this last one, they will all be combined into one league so you could play with them together. Everybody will be lowered to the same level, but given an XP boost to go through the campaign so you could experience the final chapter in the story and see what happens to Hemlock and Valeria. And of course, we have new uniques, new end games, all this crap.
You mean Big Papa Pump? Hemlock's Big Papa Pump.
Big Papa Pump?
He's a space marine.
Rip Big Papa Pump.
9 foot tall Primarch.
Yeah. He's a monster. He's Zangief.
Zangief. Kind of looks like Horus with that. Yeah, I mean he's the War Master. I wonder where they got the idea for him from.
Daft. Bad question. I can't ask Daft. Guilty.
Yes.
Where does this fit in your March schedule?
You already knew.
So okay, let's just clear the air. Last Epoch is out. So March 9th. It's now March. Let's just say it's March 14th. Okay.
Okay. All right.
It's March 14th. Wolcen drops Chapter 4. Of course, it doesn't have a name. They're like the worst. It's not. They can't even market it. You know, It's like they can't even give it like. It's just Chapter 4. It's so dumb. I'm sorry. Okay. Where does it get you?
Okay. If it pops out
March 14th.
Yeah, but like. If it happens, I'll probably dip in, and if it's good, I'll play it. I'll dip a toe, and if the water feels
day 1,
good, probably day 1. But I will be more busy doing LE stuff. I'll be busy doing D3 stuff. I know everyone's like, why is he playing D3? It's probably, I think this will be the last season that will be meaningful for that game, and I'm going to play it as much as I can.
Okay.
So they probably should have held off a month or 2. To be honest,
I was thinking about it after I made my Wolcen video. If they could have got this out in February, it might have actually done unbelievably well.
Yeah, because no one else.
There's nothing in February. There's freaking nothing. Like
E-Way says the Wolcen server is kind of laggy from time to time. What do you mean, kinda?
Yeah, we were
being nice.
So the Wolcen server is unplayable if you are playing like different country. If you're trying to play multiplayer with people that don't live around you, it's almost unplayable.
The way I don't know how they do it. It's kind of like when we did the open thing for LE, trying to play with persons in Canada, even though they're in the exact same time zone as me, it was unplayable. There's something going on with the way they hook up to the server. So I would like to see how that actually works out.
Daft, I'll let you read Raven Crow's last comment.
Last comment. You think Wolcen cares about player base at this point? I mean, I think they would, but
no.
I mean,
no.
Well, I mean, you know what? I'm going to guess that
maybe deep down inside they do, but realistically,
I'm going to guess that Wolcen Studios right now doesn't care about Last Epoch, doesn't care about Grim Dawn or Inquisitor or Titan Quest or Undecember and Torchlight Infinite and Last Epoch. They don't care about any of those things. They care about how can we get this.
Themselves.
No, I'm saying I think in their mind we have to get this out as fast as possible before D4 launches. I think a lot of people kind of have that same sentiment.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is, and maybe they are just going to do their own thing on their own schedule like they have been,
Right.
without actually looking at the market, which seems to be the case. Because if you look at some of their other patches, you're like, why are you doing this now? Like hypothetically, maybe they don't care about that, and they're just going to release it when it's ready to be released.
Yeah. I mean, I
It's
don't know
funny.
how
They should just release it broken because everybody knows that it's broke. They should have just went for timing over.
Well, they did that once.
Polish.
That worked out bad.
They should, yeah, but they got all those sales. By the way, supposedly this game sold over 2 million copies. Just let at a $40 retail cost. I bought 2 of them. Me and the wife each bought it. 2 million copies of Wolcen Lords of Mayhem at $40. Go ahead and do the math.
Because it had multiplayer.
That's ridiculous.
It is unbelievably financially successful. And they could probably sell the game to a studio and start a new project. Actually, they've already started a new project.
They did, right?
Which I can't wait to see what it is. Oh, as long as I am on
ARPG?
YouTube, if Wolcen Studios is working on a project, I am going to cover it. I don't care what's happening.
So
that's gonna happen.
You think it'll be an ARPG?
Well, it might. I don't think so. It may be just it may be an ARPG, but not Diablo style ARPG. It could be like was it a Horizon style or a Zelda style? I think they could do that justice. And if they choose to use CryEngine again, I think they've got enough experience with it now doing what it wasn't exactly designed to do to be able to use it for something that would be more suited.
Raven Crow says, I think they want to launch Act 4 exactly on the D4 release, so nobody sees how messy it is.
At that. That was
just hide it behind it.
Yeah,
nothing's going on here.
Yep. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm gonna cover Wolcen. I'm gonna cover Wolcen because I want to stay sharp on what not to do. So,
well, you know what? Every now and then someone hits that ball at the right angle and it goes over the fences.
Yep.
Swing away.
Hey, more power to the
swing
team.
Away.
You know.
Every now and then a little girl has OCD and can't take the germs and leaves glasses of water all over the house, which builds into Last Epoch and Wolcen both having a Merle and swinging away. And they could both do it. They just have to have the glasses, and the alien has to be allergic to water. But the alien had to have invaded a planet that's 76% water.
And can't take out a guy with a baseball bat.
Right. They can travel across the cosmos, but the baseball bat in the water pose a problem. That's the type of odds they need. They need that.
Guilty. Quick question for you. And this is more just like, give me like your general experience. Don't need any of your like technical mumbo jumbo. Okay.
It's not mumbo.
I have to put the question like this because then Guilty won't stop talking in a loving way. There's a debate currently on one of my YouTube videos that a lot of studios like using isometric view action RPG games because it is far less costly on VFX than third person. Is that true?
No.
You don't think so? That's what I said.
No, it's not. That's not how it works. So that camera being fixed up here.
They were talking about details and certain things like in an isometric view, you don't have to worry about what's on the leather.
The camera is fixed. All of the things that you're viewing are still there. If you choose to not put something there, that's different than having a fixed camera position. You can have a fixed camera position and have really elaborate particle effects, really great textures, really great dynamic lighting. That sounds like a fool wrote it.
I mean, it was a pretty
good
debate.
Where the camera has nothing to do with what is being instantiated. For instance, when a particle effect is going off, it's instantiating little particles, little game objects in Unity.
Yeah.
The camera being in a certain place has no effect on that.
Nah, it's just, if anything, it'll affect the shadowing.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, right. That's how the dynamic lighting works in perpetuity with the camera and the angle. But like the actual objects being instantiated or whatever the textures are, whatever the model is, whatever, all that stuff is there regardless. Where they put the cameras. For instance, like if you have a 1,000 particle system going off every frame, or whatever you limited it to, 500. it's going to still be that regardless. And it's not just the graphics. Your CPU is doing that.
No, of course. Okay, that makes sense. That's what I was like. I don't know. I think Lost Ark spent a lot of money, but I don't know.
Well, they've been around a while.
Well, Lost Ark actually cheated a lot with. Well, it's not cheating. When you do a little bit of particle effects and then you spin like a blur.
Yeah.
A blur is a 2D sprite usually.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump D3 for a second. We have 10 minutes. Okay. I want to get people's thoughts on this. Okay. Diablo 4 won't have huge damage numbers, praise Lilith. Okay. And I don't even really want this conversation to be about Diablo 4. Okay. I am very curious, gentlemen, your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather be doing 10 damage and you're trying to get to 18, or would you rather do 10 billion and you're trying to get to 18 trillion? Like, do you guys like
they're the same thing.
And that's my question.
The same thing.
Yeah.
But what do you prefer?
I prefer the lower numbers without having like just bazillion zeros, and you don't need the higher numbers are just there to like make players feel like they're doing more, but it's just ratio.
Yeah. So it's the reason people play ARPGs, the isometric style, is for the power feel.
Yeah.
Bigger numbers make you feel more powerful.
Yeah.
While they're objectively the same.
Yeah.
Like
10 million, 10. They could mean the exact same thing.
Yeah.
A very recent example of this is that the training dummy in Torchlight Infinite used to go to
Angor,
99.
Yes.
Used to go to 99 million.
That's just crazy.
Now it's 1 billion. So now it's 1 billion.
No need.
It's
just clutter.
Billion damage.
Yeah,
Damage numbers mean nothing to me because I always turn off the graphic eating clutter.
It's like artificial power feel, right? It doesn't really. You could start off doing 1 damage and then max out at doing like 200 damage. Everything's scaled to that, so it wouldn't make a big difference. But some people are like, my damage isn't high enough, but comparatively to what you're fighting, it's perfectly fine. So it's like what Guilty's saying. It's just a ratio thing.
It's a subjective thing. Like,
but it does kind of make sense, right? It's like, I was doing 8, now I'm doing 12. In your head, you're like, well, that's not that big of an increase, but percentage-wise, that's a huge.
Correct.
Yeah, if the beast, if the mob you're fighting goes down in 2 hits instead of 4, that's all I ever notice. It's how many times I have to hit it, right? Not how much. Like, I don't look at the damage numbers. Dude, I just did $75 billion.
Yeah, if you're moving up by a factor of a quarter, you're moving up by a factor of a quarter.
Yeah.
So however they decide to display that, it doesn't matter.
In D3, you can do trillions. Most people do trillions of trillions. It's a T. It says T on it.
I mean, yeah. I can't wait until someone does it in like fractions just to throw people off.
I think 5 digits.
I did 5/64 of damage.
I feel like 5 digits is pretty good. Like the stay in the thousands. Like,
sure, I mean, it's all relative. I played games where I guess it just depends on how the game scales it. Ultimately, if you feel like you're just able to
Ravencrow,
have something to compare to, but I don't know, billions and trillions, it just seems a little much for me personally, at least.
It is true though. They've lowered it where it's like 70T, 60T. It doesn't actually have all the
zeros,
which is almost more ridiculous. Like, so basically, you might as well just do 60, right? I mean, just like
it's like 60 and then have it colored blue instead of colored red.
Stupid.
Whatever.
Okay. Guilty and Daft. You get the last 5 minutes, and we are going to talk about D3 season 28. The reason why I say Guilty and Daft is because I have not partaken in such season, but I keep hearing positive things. I haven't heard anything negative, so I'm not here to bash or
why
say anything
have you
bad.
not played with us?
I've been focused on other things.
What have you been focused on that's more important than D3's last
Other
meaningful season?
things.
Making 2 YouTube videos a day and being a
I know, we were
loving
there with
father
you.
and a great husband. And
I
being
mean, you
Right.
did that today,
work.
but not yesterday. Yesterday, you
So-
didn't have children. Today, you did.
We clipped that for you so we could send it to your wife.
we could use that for Mother's Day.
So,
Yes.
season 28, Rites of Sanctuary, now live. If you want to go like in like an hour and be able to wear like level 70 gear and go God
could.
mode and straight into mapping and well, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is it. This is the most powerful you're probably ever going to be in the game. Like-
Yeah, it's funny. Angwar's like D3 season 28 is a great way to say goodbye. It's like DC, or for me, it's a great way to say hello and goodbye at the same time.
You can power level yourself, Angwar says. Yes, you can.
Because I skipped it for so many years. So for me, it's just like playing an old game that runs really well on my computer with a kind of clunky UI for a little bit of the skills and stuff. But overall, I'm enjoying it. It's fun.
Did you guys get
Skill
everything you
system
needed
does
out of the
go with-
auction house or no?
I haven't even touched anything multiplayer in this game. I mean, I'm on
Real
it,
money.
but season. But
well, that was taken out years ago, old man.
yeah, that's why I left years ago.
So you have the altar now, and the altar allows you to be able to pick up an orb that allows you to equip level 70 gear, like I said earlier, at any level. Then there's also the orb that gives you double the cachet from doing bounties. There's an orb that gives you the 30% boost. There's an orb that lets your little minion dude pick up the death
Yeah, I
spreads
did
for
notice
you.
new orb, the
believe
white
there's
one.
I think there's a double death spread. It's nuts. Like if you just do the altar and you empower your ancients, you're going to be going well past GR90, like well past it, and
Sorry,
in
my light
ways
died.
that you weren't able to do before. This is the coolest season.
Okay. Quick unboxing video. What comes in the Diablo 3 Collector's Edition?
Are you
Wish I
really
still had
You're
my-
cracking that case? You're
I just-
cracking that?
No, this one was already cracked. The StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty.
Oh, yeah. See, I didn't buy this. I just bought
That's
the
still
double
in the
CD
plastic. Okay.
back in the day.
All right. We've got a
don't you
physical
Crack
disc.
that one open.
Guys, look.
Yes.
Diablo used to give you the game in
Oh,
the
mine looked different
Collector's
back.
Edition.
In a
That's-
DVD
that
case.
was a thing in 4. I don't
Back
know.
when DVD
But-
cases were impressive.
Yeah, I had the black one though. Mine was
Instead of the
really
jewel
old.
case. You remember when you would get like 7 jewel cases?
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah,
Look
yeah.
at that. You got Tyrael. You got behind the scenes. Huh? Okay.
Ooh, look at that.
All right. We've
DVD
got.
case.
What else do we got? We've got a USB flash drive. Like, you want to buy a USB Diablo flash drive? How many
Hey,
gigabytes? How many
hacking.
gigabytes do you think it is?
4.
Put this in a museum now.
Somewhere between 4 and 16.
Dude, it legit does not say how big the flash drive is. I bet you it's small. Okay. Oh, Daph's going to like this one. The soundtrack disc.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh,
So does
that
this
got
mean
it-
if I ever
that
get
got
hit,
its own
if I ever get
foldout.
hit for
Nice.
copyright, I could be like, dude, I bought the soundtrack. It's right
Bought the
here.
soundtrack.
You know? What else?
Yeah.
I don't know that's how it works, but go on.
Okay, listen, I'm going to put this out into the ether. If anybody wants to rip this key, you could do it right
I know,
now.
Angwar.
Here's a guest pass for free World of Warcraft.
Oh, I
Okay.
have one of those back
Okay,
here.
so if you need that, go
Send
ahead.
that to me. I want to see if it works.
Done. Okay.
Let's see.
And then we've got a guest pass for Diablo 3. Go ahead, you could take that key as well.
This stuff.
That's so awesome.
What is this
I
thing?
remember they don't do guest passes anymore.
I
do they?
legit
They
have
do-
no idea what is in
fine.
this box. Does anybody know what? Let's open it. What is this?
Oh,
Wow.
Blizzarding. Going through all the old boxes. Look at this.
right, let's
It's
see
all
what we got.
pretty.
What is in this box? Oh, I'm so
Oh my
stupid.
god.
Do you know what it is?
Nothing.
It is the
A
said
figure? A figure?
USB flash drive.
Nice.
The USB
Oh
is
wow.
was the soul stone or whatever sticking out of its head.
So you have okay, cool. That's neat.
That's pretty cool, actually.
I like that.
Walker, don't worry. We got called
There,
out.
it's added to the
say it.
shelf.
Hey, Aaron, look at
there it is.
Walker
What?
commenting. Second from the bottom.
This feels like Patreon content. It's too far. I've come too far.
Yeah,
He's
you've
gone too far into the box.
And then an unopened The Art of Diablo 3.
You didn't crack that book?
What? Why? What? I mean, come on. That's definitely a toilet book.
Is there something in there that's any good?
Have you seen any of the concept art for the game?
Yeah, you gotta go through that stuff.
That's what we got.
You make the Lord very nervous.
Walker, maybe I'll crack open this one for you.
Oh,
That's still in the plastic. That's still in
it's
the plastic.
plastics and got all the
Aren't
stuff on
all
it still.
books toilet books?
I mean, with enough like bravery, yes.
This one's for you, Aaron.
All right. So,
Oh, I've got that one too.
Yeah.
are you going to hop in this season at all?
No,
Being that you can-
I'm so busy.
With
Sorry,
what?
I mean, sorry, I answered too fast.
With what?
You know,
With
I'm
what?
gonna try to make time to.
You're not busy. Busy in my left foot.
You have a
I am
point there.
probably the busiest person you know. So
I doubt that highly.
I don't know.
You're up there. You're up there. I mean,
I
compared
I
to
think
me,
we're
don't
both
know.
on
yeah,
call
but
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I have a
believe
wife
we
and
both
4
are.
kids and make 1 to 2 videos a day and manage 8 hospitals.
But you have a team that helps
What-
you
what-
with some of your
But
videos.
I'll play the game.
But you still do a lot. I'll give you the credit for that.
I can't put it back
Yeah,
in the
Lady
box.
Medusa, correct. Blah 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 blah.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
No, he's not feeling D3 because he's a hater of fine things.
Honestly, when
Also-
I play a game, I need it to like, you know, I'll play D3, but am I gonna be able to make content off that? You know?
I mean, you could make content off of anything. It just depends
Sure.
on how you try to make the content, you know?
You could
Yeah.
say goodbye, and
Yeah,
I
it
really
could
think the
be-
reason they gave us
I
the
said
amount of
goodbye a
power they
long
gave us-
time ago to D3.
No.
Revisiting after X amount of years. Let's see my final take on D3 before I.
You know, Guilty,
it
why can I
on the
not
back
just
shelf.
have my own opinion on this? You know, you don't have to try and pressure me with your pure pressure in this situation.
Wow.
You
Yeah,
know?
I do.
Questions.
Rich
I
has
have
got
to.
4 kids.
Yeah, Rich has 4 kids and he plays D3, and he works a job that's way more like awesome than maybe what you do.
Yeah,
Just
but look,
saying.
I got this box.
He works 12 hours a day, like 8 days a week.
If he doesn't make YouTube videos.
How do you know? He's probably like Mark Cuban on YouTube right now.
Maybe he is Mark Cuban.
I hope he's
Could
Mark
be.
Cuban.
My box is
Maybe.
falling apart.
Don't give it to your kids anymore.
Cheap Blizzard product.
Oh yeah, Angwar is over here pushing the faction.
Angwar, what can I sell this book for on eBay? It's unopened. It hasn't even
Oh,
been
I
in a
could-
toilet yet, you know?
Angwar, I could join that. I forgot that you guys had that.
Yeah,
We-
it's
we
up.
had that.
Join the
Yeah.
Discord. We're in there. Everyone's active in it pretty much in D3.
$5.
We have people all over the world, so you're in.
$100.
$5. Guilty, I'll buy
But yeah,
that for
come-
$1.
Go to the Discord if you're not there. It's fun. We all chit chat, play a bunch of different games besides ARPGs, and chat about them and
No way it's $100, is it? You can have it for $100.
fun stuff like that. That's why we're here, Rich. We're here to talk to you while you can't play the games. Tell you how much fun they're having.
Hey, Guilty, you'll like this.
Yeah.
Guilty, can you?
Rich's
Guilty, are you
comments,
watching the
awesome.
stream
Of course, I'm watching the stream.
so you can see my camera?
Yes, unfortunately.
It's
Okay,
there.
good.
Muted, but it's
I
there.
I saw this sticker the other day and I was seriously dying. I had to buy it.
What sticker is this?
Oh,
Very good. Very good.
You get it? You know?
Calmer than you
It's
are.
one of the best movies of my life. One of the best movies released in my lifetime.
I was like,
one of the funniest
when
movies.
in my lifetime will I ever see that sticker again? Never.
Fantastic.
Never.
Calmer than you are. eBay has it unopened for $22. That's actually not too bad.
He might be right.
That's not too shabby. Okay. We are right at time. This is a great
little chat.
This was a great chat.
Hope you all enjoyed today.
We even got
Talking
to talk about Wolcen.
We did.
I
defended.
Wolcen. All roads lead to Wolcen.
I wonder how Inquisitor's doing. Lady Medusa.
Oh, you just looked. Yeah, I'm sorry, lady. I feel dirty. I'm gonna go take a bath.
Excellent.
Yeah.
214.
You know what though? That's okay. So,
Not.
would you put Inquisitor above Wolcen? Because I sure as hell
I don't
do.
really put it in ARPG.
What?
It kind of like originally it was made to be like.
Did you get to the end game and do all the crafting and all that?
I did.
Yeah,
Because that's
well, no,
straight up ARPG.
Actually, when I did do the crafting, Exathius in our Discord, he did the crafting for me because I looked at it, I was like, how does this work?
It's intense. It's intense.
And then he's like, do this, and he started telling me, we were in chat together, and he was just telling me to do things. So I didn't really learn.
I will say
it's worth learning. It's intense.
Crafting.
Yeah.
Crafting has a steep learning curve. This I don't even know why I'm saying this because it's for everything.
Like,
but once you get it, you get it. Like it's actually not like it's
There's a lot to it, but it makes sense when you understand.
Yeah.
It's different, but it's not like crazy. Like it's all roads lead to Rome.
It's a logical thing. But I like that game more than Wolcen. I like it a lot more than Wolcen.
Yeah, no, I would take Inquisitor over Wolcen. I do think that if even half of what they have said is true with this chapter 4 update, it could easily leapfrog it. I mean, if literally it has a better end game, it has new skills, they rebalance the whole game, it's got new items, new affixes, new build possibilities, new city builder, good chap. Like, I mean,
is the multiplayer working?
They're basically throwing it out. It's a whole new game.
It was in comparison to the end game in Wolcen, which even though they 5 new end game systems, they were all pretty bland.
I will say in modern memory, Wolcen has the worst crafting stash tab in loot filter of all 3 of any game I've ever played.
They're very, very, very simplistic.
It's super bland. I would if we decided to play on stream or something and we all started off at some point,
worse
play, but otherwise
it's
I'm
worse.
not gonna play by myself.
Absolutely right.
Yeah. Oh, it's beyond worse. The crafting seemed terrible
worse.
When I was playing it, and then the stash tab seems like Diablo 2.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Wolcen game is a mini game of unlocking. Pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate.
But you're also unlocking the city builder for it's not like you unlock something and now you're stronger. It's not even like you're naturally progressing something that you're excited about. It's just like, well, this is all I have to do, so I might as well do it. All right, everybody, that is going to do it. Guilty put the Discord in the chat. Join up. If you are planning on playing Last Epoch on March 9th, I can tell you we will have one of the most, if not the most active community during that time. I've got 4 days off work, so I will be streaming on Discord pretty much as long as I can stay awake. No, we're not going to do any 24-hour streams.
Not this time.
I've just decided, if I try to do a 24-hour stream, then it's going to kill the next day. I'd rather do 10 hour, 10 hour, 10 hour, 10 hour compared to 24 hours.
Stream is
then be dead. So check out the Discord. And then what we're going to do right now is we are going to switch over to our live Patreon only bonus hour. So all the likes, all the shares, all the comments, all the views, all the interactions truly means the world. But if you took it one step further and made the decision to join the Patreon and support us financially, you have made, I don't know, the ultimate sacrifice. I don't know what to say, but we are going to do a bonus hour. It's a little more unfiltered, a little more raw, and that is actually over on YouTube. And the link for or that said bonus hour will be posted in the VIP section on Discord.
The Patreon on Discord.
For the Patreon Discord.
Get a little bit more spicy in the Patreon.
Yes, I'm
only.
And
It's
normally Guilty's normally a little more drunk during that time too, but I don't see him drinking tonight, so I guess.
Oh no.
I hit it in a different cup.
Is it in there? Oh gosh.
Oh, it's all gone. Oh no.
All's well that ends well. So thank you all for coming out tonight. I will be back on Friday for my normal stream. And if you're in the Patreon VIP, we'll see you in a few minutes. And if you want to get into that, the link is also in the chat. Have a good night. Guilty, you get the last word since I know you've been drinking.
Good night, all.